works. It's funny how we fuck but fell in love first. Been 3 years, I wish I finally trust her. She made me feel like how them drugs work.
I know, look, I've been listening to Mac Miller now for, since what? It's been 10 years now. I think it's been 10 years since I was in high school and whatnot. So, I've been there for kids. I was there for, Macadelics, the parties. For me, man, that last album, Divine Feminine, I think that was what it was called. It really didn't do it for me, man. I understand what it was about. He made it about Ariana, whatever her name is, man. Let me just stop playing for the fans. Come at me, but y'all know about his ex girl. They broke up, and the album was basically dedicated to her. Basically having this change of lifestyle. He was sobering up. He was off the drugs. It was just a different Mac Miller. I know we all have to change. I understand that, but when I like a certain sound from an artist, that's what I like. It wasn't anything that he was trying to do different. It was really the content that I really just didn't like. I mean, sappy Mac Miller. I was like, ugh. But yeah, my favorite project from Mac Miller is Macadelic. Like I still find myself listening to it each and every day. Lucky Ass, B.I. and obviously Morning After, songs like that, they just get me. I'm just hoping, with the whole breakup, that it's not going to be a very emotional Mac Miller. 1 or 2 tracks, just getting some things off his chest is fine with me. There's only 13 tracks here, but the album is an hour. Just a couple emotional tracks is fine with me, just as long as the main focus isn't about him getting over his ex and him crying over his ex and whatever. I just want a little bit of the old Mac-esque back. I don't think that's too much to ask for. So, like always, man, we got the albums called Swimming, 13 tracks. We're just gonna get right into this. Like always, been talking too much. Let's get right into this. We got Mac Miller, Swimming. Y'all ready?
In my own way, just feel like living day. I wish it was nice out, but it looked like rain.
Okay, I like the beat. I like that intro. See, I don't mind that. Like, a couple more of those tracks would be fine with me. Like I said, I know what the album's probably going to be about, swimming. I feel like, he's not completely healed. He did have love for the girl. I'm not going to sit there and say that he didn't. Obviously he was hurt by it. Now she's getting married. I always tell y'all, look, that when that one that got away gets married, that shit always hurts. You feel that in your heart. You may be like, oh, I don't care. But until when you see that ring go on that finger, you might have to listen to some Drake and Drive. That's all I got to say about that, because from experience, we call it the black sheep, the one that got away. It always gets to you, man. Seeing Ariana Grande get married, so quickly, she just moved on so fast, while Mac Miller is kind of still, wouldn't say drowning, but he's still swimming, trying to find himself. Cool intro. Track 2, Hurt Feelings.
I be hitting the jets. I'm showing her some love, she be giving me sex. We was getting lifted, now we getting paid. Shame on you.
All right. That track right there, hurt feelings. He's saying at this point he really don't care. He just moving forward. He getting money. I'm not that dude that I was before. As long as he attacks his issues while making it sonically pleasing on each track, making each track different and not the same. Because like I said, I already said in the beginning of the video, I'm not gonna repeat myself again, but I just don't want multiple of those tracks. That's some uplifting shit right there, but at the same time, you know, he's explaining himself. I can appreciate that. Track 3, What's the Use?
Why you tripping? Give me something that your eyes can witness. Ooh, too close. I don't understand why you doing the most.
Hey.
You changed. It's been a while, but I'm down till I'm out, and it is what it is till it ain't. You can love it, you can live it. Just say nothing without it.
Hey.
Don't let them keep you down.
I'm definitely digging the disco boogie beats, man. I like that. Like that's his first 3 tracks have been very different from each other, and they've been groovy in their own way. I'm liking this so far. I like where Mac Miller is going with his approach. I mean, it may not be the Mac Miller from before that was on the drugs and whatnot, but I'm definitely feeling this Mac Miller right here, man. You know, he's trying to dabble in other genres, and I'm really tuning in right now. Track 4, Perfecto.
Well, it ain't perfect, but I don't mind, because it's worth it. Who really has the time? Something out of nothing. Yeah, as hard as it gets. Cool, calm, and collected. Holding my breath, this ain't what I expected.
Hey.
Don't argue, talking. Makes me like you getting withdrawal. I keep that coming. I'm treading water.
Cool, baby. Just play it cool. You know? Cool.
Well, it ain't perfect, but I don't mind.
Hey, he came back with it.
Car started, even though the only thing that she driving a hard bargain. More important is I'm kinda sorta out the door, but
honestly, man, my heart goes out to Mac Miller, bro. Like I really do feel bad for a guy. You know, coming from where he was coming from back in the day, listening to all the music. You know, he was this party kid from Pennsylvania, and then, you know, doing off the drugs. I'm not even saying when drugs, because I feel like drugs are now the cool thing to do now. I feel like before, you know, if you did drugs, boy, you definitely was going through something. I'm not saying that people that do drugs now aren't going through things, but more so back then, you know, you were going through something if you took those hard drugs, you did the pills and whatnot. And, you know, I feel like Mac Miller had a lot of demons in him. You can also hear it in Macadelic, you know, listening to some of those tracks. And then he finally finds someone to, you know, soothe him, to help him find his balance, you know, his purpose in life. And then he just it ends up being a toxic relationship, you know, and you know, now you have to move forward. You know, I always say, look, as you can have all the money you want in the world, but you don't know who really wants you for you. And as you grow older, you know, you kind of run out of time, you know, of meeting your soulmate. Because at this point, Mac Miller is Mac Miller. We all know who Mac Miller is. He's a well-known artist in the music industry. You know, a lot of these, you know, women probably just want him for his money. Just being straight up with you. So, you know, my heart just goes out to him, man. You know, I feel like he hurting. And, you know, it may be like this for a while, but if he just keeps swimming, I think he'll be fine. That's why he keeps referencing, you know, the waters. You know, say what line did he say? He said, "I'm in the water, but if I stand still, I'll float." I was like, okay, I feel where you're coming from on that. All right, man. Track 5 is Self-Care. Hey, and this is not Henny today. It's regular water. This is regular water.
I'm treating me right. Yeah. Hell yeah. We're gonna be. See, there's no surprise though. And you can find me. I ain't hiding. I didn't know.
Oh shit!
I didn't know.
I ain't like that first part, but damn.
Got stuck in the Oblivion, yeah. Oblivion, yeah. Oblivion, yeah.
Okay, Mac.
I got stuck. We spent all nights all liquored up on the side. Can you feel it now? Oblivion, yeah.
See, at first when I didn't like the first half of the track because I felt like it was too blatant. Like he was basically saying like, "Hey man, Ariane, you got married. I don't care about you anymore. I love myself, self-care. You know, you no one's gonna love me more than I love myself. It was kind of basically a cry out for help. I felt like, and I just felt, it was too much vulnerability from Mac Miller. I wasn't really feeling that side of him, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you got to be strong for yourself too. I understand you want to express yourself, but don't make it too obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like just have a little pride. That second part kicked in with the beat switch. I'm like, all right, Mac, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you, Mac, man, like I remember when Mac used to be on top. Not saying on top, but he was Dat Piff mixtape legend. If y'all know about Dat Piff, hey, shout out to y'all. If you don't know about Dat Piff, you might be too young. But I remember he used to be Dat Piff legend, man. Like the mixtape gang, man. Mac Miller was definitely killing it. He was representing. Pennsylvania was on the map with Wiz Khalifa coming out as well. I don't know, man. I just feel like Mac Miller is one of the artists of our generation that has that sound that will carry him throughout any era. But what's stopping him is just is girls. Track 6, Wings.
Well, I got a bone to pick like roses. I ain't feeling broken no more. Bought a fist that got spin. I know this talking. Just watch. Well,
The sun is shining, I can look at the horizon. The walls keep getting wider, I just hope I never find them.
here go. So, I guess I just play it by ear. Silence is all that I hear. Listening close as I can. Growing up, 1, 2, 3. Jump. Nobody holding my hand, no. I'm sorry, all I ever want is what I need, and that don't include your time and company. Follow me.
I loved how subtle the production was. It had that church piano. I don't know what it's called. What is the organ? I don't know what. Look, I know a lot of instruments. I'm really not familiar with the pianos, which kind of pianos they are. I know there's an electric piano, and then you got the regular piano, and then there's some other ones. I used to have. Remember the Casio? You could change the different piano sounds. I forget which ones were, but there was multiple piano sounds. Anyways, back on topic. I love that production, man. It was just very subtle, man. It gave you this warm, light feeling inside. And while it wasn't anything too crazy, Mac Miller kind of went a cappella on there. Him just kind of, just talking, telling you his story. And, you ever heard one of them nursery rhymes? Or, remember when you used to go to kindergarten back in the day? This might be a long time ago for a lot of y'all. But, back in the day when you used to go to kindergarten and then they used to have story time and they would play, like, the music with the dun-dun-dun. Or even when they tell you, like, one of the stories around the night's table, around the campfire. And they say, once upon a time in medieval. Like, it kind of sounded like that where he was just sitting back and just giving you, his campfire story. I'm not disappointed so far. I've only disliked half a track so far. And we halfway through. Track 7 is Ladders.
How many miles it take? I know it feels so good right now, but it all come falling down. When it
Blow the whistle when you run out of time. Yeah. Waking up, I open up my eyes. Do you mind if I blow your mind? A little closer, baby, don't be shy.
Trump is going in. Hey, why when I'm snapping, it feel like I'm actually snapping for the track? Like, my snap sound like it belong in the production, bitch. Like, I'm like, damn, this shit sound good. Shit, hey, you ever heard or snapped and felt like, damn, well, my snap game is on point, nigga. I ain't talking about Snapchat, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying?
no matter how many miles it takes.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I know it feels so good right now, but it all come falling down.
Yep. Hey, remember I always tell y'all, he said, don't wait for forever. Shoot your shot now. I always tell y'all too, man. Like y'all think I just be talking just to be talking, and some of y'all actually really take my wisdom for what it is. I say the best wisdom is experience. How do you get experience? Time. Can you speed time? Can you slow time? No. Father Time will go on its own. Father Time is undefeated. So in life, you will have more wisdom based on how much more experience you get. Now, when I always tell y'all, man, like some people literally have everything. Even when that comes to work, that comes to looks, that comes to women, power. Like everybody has highs. Now the people that survive are the people that know how to get through the lows. That's the people that survive. Because you ever notice, like, people that struggle usually or come from the bottom, they're not saying they're more successful, but they're more prime for endurance. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is when someone has been given everything in their life, they haven't had no struggle, they literally had no type of resistance. As soon as something hard comes, or a challenge, they face a challenge, what happens? They resort to drugs, harming themselves, stuff like that. And it just shows where your character is, shows where your backbone is. That's why I always tell y'all, man, when you have a high, you praise, not saying you have to praise God, because if you don't believe in God, by all means, that's your business. You can do what you want, but you praise wherever you be. You're thankful for the greater being out there. You know what I'm saying? Thankful for what you got. Always be humble, because at any time, bro, it could be taken away. Like I always tell, for me, like, I'm a YouTuber, right? And yes, I make money now. I have a community. Everybody's messing with me. I got a big follow on Instagram, Twitter. It's cool now. But at any day, I could be irrelevant tomorrow. Stuff can fall off. So I'm always humble and I'm always thankful no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Because it can all be taken away from me. And a lot of people just walk around like, oh, no, I'm invincible. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're not invincible. I came from the bottom. I know what struggle is. So it ain't too much more in the dirt I could be in. You know what I'm saying? So any increase is a blessing for me. And we're going to keep it like that. So I see where Mac Miller was coming from. Climb them ladders, man. I see where you're coming from, You're always going to fall, but you got to get right back up. Track 8, Small Words. I read that wrong. Track 8, Small Worlds.
The world is so small till it ain't. Yeah. I'm building up a wall till it break. I think I know it all, but I don't. Why you? I might trip, I never fall. God knows I came close.
Don't try this at home.
I know I probably need to do better. Fuck whoever, keep my shit together. All I got is a little bit of space and time, drawing shapes and lines of a world we made. That's really all it takes. We don't need nothing but leave. Oh, I've been a fool, but it's cool, that's what human beings do. Keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Guess there was a time when my mind was consumed, but
Track overall, I wasn't really like feeling it. I didn't like his rap style though at the beginning. Towards the end, I definitely love what he was saying. I was more so paying attention to the message of the track. Like I even say this too, like having all this money. People think it's all about having the money, like having all this money and still not being happy, or because you need to find your purpose. And like I said, as I said in the previous track, being at a high and it just being all taken away from you. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Like money can buy temporary happiness. And what Todd Gurley just tweeted, whoever said money can't buy happiness was lying. Look, I'm not gonna sit there and say that being broke is better than being rich, because we are all not fools. Money makes this world go round. You need money to survive somewhat in this world. I'm just saying, don't think that an overabundance of money is going to keep you happy every single day. You still need to find a purpose in life. And that's me having a little bit more money than before in my pocket. And I feel like the more money I get, it's kind of just like, all right, like, now what? You know what I'm saying? Like, now what? Like, more, now you get more money. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Get more money. But it comes to a point though where you have all this money, you can buy all the materialistic things, but you don't have the friends, you don't have the girl, you don't have kids, you just kind of just lonely. And I always say, man, look, no matter what y'all do in life, let me tell y'all this. If y'all watch my videos, man, listen to me right here, man. Listen to come closer and listen. If you are moving up and you're successful and you have friends, for 8-7 years, I'm not saying if they fuck your woman, then you need to be friends with them. But friendship, it should be, you need to treasure long friendships, man. Like, I can't really relate to people that say that, oh, I have had a 9-year friend or 8-year friend, and then we kind of just like ended on some petty shit. Like I got about 13 best friends, 10 in Tampa, 3 in Miami. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to friendship, that means everything to me. Family, stuff like that. I couldn't imagine not having someone to be like, oh, I talk to my homies every day. I'm never bored because I always got something to do. You know what I'm saying? I always can have even if it's just chilling, having a conversation. I always have that. I'm never going to be alone, no matter how big I get. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about the 20,000 people saying, Dev, you look ugly, or your cheeks getting big, you're ugly with a beard. Because, you know, first of all, myself, I don't care about what people think. But one of the reasons I don't care about what people think is because I have a circle. And that's the only opinions I really care about. Like, if they told me my motherfucking beard was trash, I would take a little like, damn, that hurt. You know, but I would still be okay. Like, damn, it's a joke. And I know I look ugly right now. I accept that. But if y'all said it, I wouldn't give a fuck. Because, I mean, not saying y'all are relevant, but I really don't know y'all. Y'all not really in my circle. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end, that's what it is. No, let me give y'all the reality. I'm not trying to be like, I'm not thankful for my subscribers and whatnot. But I'm just being true with y'all, man. That's just, at the end of the day, you got to keep your circle tight. And you got to have a circle. You just can't be by yourself. Don't be a dot, you know? The dot around to create a circle. Track 9, Conversations Part 1.
How's you getting phased? That ain't entertaining. Yeah. You missing every single shot that you ain't taking. Hey kid,
I be telling y'all this, bro. I tell y'all this all the time. You can't miss a shot if you don't take one, you know?
You don't say shit. Pocket full of aces. Take over my city, yeah, that's really on it. Where you from? Where you came? Started in the place. Made it way above the top. Now I'm in.
That is the first track I wasn't really truly feeling. I mean, yeah, he had some points where I always like, you know, great minds think alike. Like everything I've preached on, if you've been a subscriber for not even a day one subscriber, if you've been watching me for like the last year, I always preach this, man. Like you can't, you know, 0 for 1 is better for 0 for 0. Like you gotta take a shot. At least you know at the end of the day, like you ever seen a bad chick walk by, right? And you be like, damn, man, she look good. Let me talk to her. But then your inner self-confidence be like, nah, there's no way I could get her. How the fuck you know? How do you know? If you let her walk out the door and don't even approach her at all, and you never see her again, the worst thing she can say is no. All right, as long as you come respectful, obviously, you come respectful. It is a bad time to talk to people in public now because you know people are like, oh yeah, you harassed me. No. Come respectful. And if you come respectful and she kindly tell you no, or you know what happens then? You still good. You found out that she don't want you. That's all good. But you had a chance. It was a 50-50 chance, my guy. Now, if she walks away and you never get... All you got to tell your homies was, oh, I saw this bad chick at Publix. Now what? You're never going to be able to talk to her again. That's all you get. Just memories. You're going to be a memory guy? Like, come on, man. Get y'all confidence up, man. The worst thing they can say is no. Honesty is the policy. Remember that, y'all. Come on. But that track was not good, though. Personally. Track 10, Dunno. I don't know.
Well, we was fucking almost missed my flight.
Been there.
Wouldn't you rather get along? You was copping when you hit my way. Sleep alone.
It's another one of those beats where he's kind of like going a cappella, telling a campfire story.
Where we can switch up gears. I wanna see them lips kissing ear to ear. I wanna hear you. This really your favorite. I know.
Damn, that was pretty tight. I ain't gonna lie. I like his campfire songs. That's what we're gonna call them, campfire songs, because I feel like he's, like I said, he's just telling a story. You know, he's kind of gathering everybody around, like, here, listen to my testimony. All right, this is what I think, and y'all gonna listen to me. And I'm right here, Mac. I'm listening to you, man. So I'm surprised that you've had some moments in the album where you've been hurt and you've kind of talked about it, but there's also been some times where you're giving advice, you're giving life advice, and that's actually cool too, because me myself, being a YouTube preacher, that's what they be calling me, Preacher Dev. I can definitely relate to how you want to just help other people, you know, by sharing your wisdom. Track 11, Jet Fuel.
So what? Woke up this morning with a bright idea.
Okay, bad man.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got a little Nokia going on.
Here for a while longer than I did expect to. I was out of town getting up.
personally, this me being biased, but you can never go wrong when you get the island vibes. Bottom line, I don't know what it is about Caribbean music, but it's just so fire. Like Bob Marley, there is no such thing as a bad track from Bob Marley. If y'all hate Bob Marley, then y'all can just unsubscribe from me, please, because we will debate about that forever. That's an opinion you will never change from me. When it comes to feeling music through your soul, Bob Marley is the #1 soul hunter. He will literally infuse his music into your soul, and you will be forced to love Bob Marley. I don't think Bob Marley ends racism. All right, everybody loves Bob Marley. I think racist people even love Bob Marley. That's how good Bob Marley is. But this is not about Bob. This is about, I loved Mac Miller on this, man. I like how he did that. And even at the end, I don't know how I felt about the end with the, because it kind of came through my speakers a little harsh. But, from start to about 4 minutes, it was a good track. Track 12, 2009. Damn. 2009. What a memorable year.
I don't have it all, but that's alright with me. Take it nice and easy, took a flight to see me. Then took a simpler route. Instead of having demons that's as big as my house. Have a bird, I gotta carry my own. These songs, I can carry you home. I'm right here when you scared and alone, and I ain't never in a hurry. You don't never come. Nowadays, all I do is shine. Take a breath and ease my mind, and she don't cry no more. Tell me that
Damn, 09 has a special place in my heart. I'm not gonna tell y'all why, but a lot of y'all can assume why. But I just felt where he was coming from. Like, he wished he would have took a different route. I wish I would have did a little different as well growing up. They always say there's a time and place for everything. Everything happens for a reason. Mac Miller is older, but he's still growing up. A lot of y'all think that you're that's another funny thing too. Y'all always say, like, I always wonder, like, when people say, "Oh, Dev, you getting old? Are you old?" I mean, sometimes I like to joke around and say I'm old, but in reality, I know I'm not old, man. Like, it's a lot of life left still, man. Like, hella long. Stuff that I was doing when I was 18 through 22. I mean, yeah, it was fun. I had fun, but I mean, I felt like I've grown even more from that, and I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? So Mac Miller kind of felt like right there where, he said he has demons bigger than his house. Remember how I told y'all back in the day he was kind of fighting demons? He was just going through a lot. And he found the way to survive in this world and make money. But I still honestly think that Mac Miller is trying to find his purpose. And for me, the same way as well. Like, I've just now found myself of what I want to do and, trying to do. And slowly but surely, I'm working on myself, and the YouTube channel is growing, and, hopefully it works out. If not, you got to get back up and try something else. Mac Miller, I think that right now he's just, still, even though he's rich, he's still trying to figure out who he is. And he's still young, man. I think Mac Miller, like, what? Let's look this shit up. 26, Mac Miller. So, I mean, he's still growing up. Mac Miller's not even that old. He's still growing up, man. Got a lot of life left. Track 13, So It Goes.
later and we won't let no one close to us. We could be posted up. Yeah. Okay, well, you can have the.
Interesting outro. Not really feeling that track either. So that's two tracks I really wasn't feeling, which is Conversation Part 1 and So It Goes. In the first part of self-care or What's the Use? It was one of those, I forget. What's funny? This album isn't going to be received well by a lot of people. That's the funny thing. Like, it was just gonna be overlooked, and I thought it was a really solid project. I think that people need to kind of get away from the whole hype rap, mumble rap Zan rap scene, because albums like this will always be overlooked in today's day, just because nobody wants to hear this sound anymore. I felt like Mac Miller gave us a solid project where he was expressing himself. You know, he was growing up, showing you where he's at now in life, and a lot of people are just gonna be like, okay, Mac Miller, like, stop crying. Personally, man, I think this is one of the most refreshing listens of 2018. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got some time, just go ahead and take a listen to it for yourself. I wouldn't say it was anything off the wall. Like, it wasn't like, oh damn, Mac Miller dropped this banger. You know, it was just a raw album from Mac Miller that I'm appreciating more than the Divine Feminine. Just because I felt like he was giving advice. He was giving, you know, reflection of himself. Also, you know, where he's going and moving forward in life and trying to, you know, just his direction. Like I said, he's 26 years old. The man is young. He's just been through a lot. So in terms of age, he's young, but in terms of experience, he is old and wise. So I just think people need to sit back and enjoy the artists that were before, instead of the turn up hype, I want to do drugs artists. And I'm just gonna keep it like that, man. Great album from you, Swimming. Definitely appreciate Mac Miller. Let me know what y'all think about the album in the comments below. What y'all think that his next body of work should be. What direction should he go in? And let me know if y'all agree that he needs to find his purpose, because just because he is rich, I think that Mac Miller there's more to him. We all don't know the real story about him. So I'm gonna keep it like that. Till the next time, this has been your boy Dev. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share, and we out.